Alright, good morning everybody. What is up? Good morning and welcome to my gameplay stream. The first of two gameplay streams for a full day of lovely streaming this Saturday. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well, and I welcome you. Today is Saturday, the 7th of December, 2019. Hello, hello. Welcome to some good variety for today, for sure. Today we actually take a break from my regular ongoing playthroughs to do something different. We're going to be starting up something new, and something that people actually wanted me to do a couple months ago. But I was not able to do it at the time that it originally released because there was so much other stuff going on with new releases at the time. It was actually the same day that both Modern Warfare and The Outer Worlds released. Okay, so this was near the end of October. I'm talking about the Medieval Remaster. That is right, Medieval. A game that is from the, I want to say it's the early 2000s, but I might be wrong. It might actually be the early 90s. Or excuse me, the late 90s. The late 90s. It was definitely a PlayStation 1 game. I remember back in the day, I originally played Medieval as a demo. Back in that time frame before the internet was much better as it is today, when it used to take upwards of, 30 minutes to download a picture. Game demos came on discs. Alright, if you wanted to play a demo of a game that was coming out soon, what you would do is you would go to your local bookstore, magazine store, newsstand, and you would buy a magazine, a gaming magazine. Back then, things like PlayStation Magazine and stuff like that were all the rage. And they would always include, a game demo disc that would have a variety of content on it. And sometimes you would really luck out and you get a game demo disc that had like 5 hot new games. And some months it would be pretty shitty stuff that no one cared about. But I remember getting a demo for Medieval and playing it, and I was like, wow, it was only about, if I remember correctly, it was only like 20-25 minutes of gameplay. But I was like, wow, this is like really good. It seems like a really fun original game that I'd really be interested in. And so I ended up buying the game for PlayStation 1 and playing the full game and really loving it. That was a long time ago. We're talking, again, like 20 years ago, roughly, right? I mean, it's been so long. I don't remember the entirety of the game. Here's what I do remember about Medieval, okay? I remember the game has a lot of humor in it. And that was kind of different for the time because a lot of the games at the time were trying to be a lot more, adult-oriented and serious for a mature gaming audience. That was the era where everything wanted to be gory and stuff like that. And Medieval very much is more cartoony and more, kind of humorous than anything else. I also remember that it has a lot of different, like, monsters and things in it. It's very Halloween-centric, which is why I wish I could have played this around Halloween. But sometimes things just don't work out. And the fact that there were so many other new releases at the time, there was no way I was going to be able to play this around Halloween. It'll still be neat. It'll still be cool, even though we're in Christmas mode. I think you guys should still enjoy it, hopefully. So it should be interesting today to see how this goes, and to see how, as a playthrough, how it holds up. Now, I don't know how much they've changed about the game for this. This is supposedly, I don't know if this is a remake, a remaster. I really don't know. So I guess we're going to see today, as we start playing, exactly what they've done with the game. Again, I haven't played this in nearly 20 years. So, people ask me, what do you think about the game? That I don't remember. I remember liking it back in the day, but that was so long ago. I couldn't even tell you, how the game's going to play or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, it's been so freaking long that you're asking me, you might as well have asked me what I had for lunch 20 years ago. I think I know just about as much, right? So we'll see today. The premiere of the playthrough. 4 hours. Let's see how it goes. I hope you guys like it. If you like it, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into the main rotation of games for the next week so that we have other things to do besides just Shenmue and Pokemon on the early streams, okay? So let's see how it goes today. Later tonight, the late stream, I'm going to be doing Modern Warfare, and it's going to be a little different this week. Reason being, this week it's the release of Season 1 in Modern Warfare. And for those who have not paid attention to any of the announcements about Modern Warfare, this year with Call of Duty, they are not charging for DLC. They have no DLC that they're going to actually have a transaction for. It's all going to be free over the course of the year. They're going to be adding new maps, new modes, And obviously, this sounds great to those who like Call of Duty and don't want to drop money every freaking few months for a season pack. You know me. Do I like Call of Duty? Yeah, I do. Do I want to buy 4 DLCs that cost another $100+? No, I don't. And I never buy them. So this year, it'll be interesting to every few months come back to Call of Duty Modern Warfare and check out the new content. This first Season 1 pack supposedly is featuring 3 new maps from the original game from 2007. That is right, from the original Modern Warfare. Okay? And it's funny because we just played Modern Warfare Remastered back in April because it was the free for PS Plus game that month. So chances are whatever maps are included are maps we've just played a few months ago. So I don't know exactly how exciting this is going to be playing these maps, being that I actually wonder if Infinity Ward is a little pissed that Modern Warfare Remastered was the free for PS Plus game earlier this year, because they were probably like, oh, look at this throwback content we're putting into the first expansion for Modern Warfare. And everyone's like, yeah, but we already played it in April. You know? I guess we'll see. We'll see how does it translate into this modern gameplay engine with the old maps. So that's what I'm going to do tonight. Check out Modern Warfare, the new maps, see how this goes. Okay? 2 hours of FPS fun later tonight, and I'm sure there'll be salty rage as well. Tomorrow, we are returning back to Shenmue 3 for another 4-hour stream of Shenmue 3 advancement. Okay? Still in the initial town. I'm not surprised. For those who've played previous Shenmue games, you basically get, I don't want to say stuck, but basically it takes quite a while to get out of each area of the game. And so I'm not surprised that I'm 8 hours in and I'm still in the first area. I'm sure the game's going to have many more areas. It's just that you have to get through the initial parts, okay? So that's going to be later tonight. Hope you guys will join me. That's going to be tomorrow. Whoops. Hope you'll join me for that. Tomorrow night, Sunday night, I'm going to be checking out The Lion King remaster from the Disney Classics collection that I played starting the other night, where I played Aladdin. So I'll be doing The Lion King. Now, The Lion King is a game that I actually played and owned in the 1990s. But I haven't played the game in some 25 years. So we'll see how it goes. I've heard it's incredibly difficult. I mean, I've played it. I could tell you, I remember it being difficult. There's certain segments where you have to like do swinging from monkeys and all kinds of crazy shit. So we'll see how this goes. Okay? So that is tomorrow. Then on Monday, to end my 6 consecutive days of streaming this week, it will be another major stream of Pokemon Sword. We actually beaten 6 of the 8 gyms so far, so we've got some pretty great progress. And then we will be doing on Monday night my weekly Minecraft stream, my weekly Minecraft chill stream. All right, so good stuff. A big variety of good stuff coming up in the next few days. The week after, what we're going to be doing is continuing on with all the major playthroughs. So again, more Pokemon, more Shenmue, and more Medieval, and balancing that with late night chill stuff. Once we start wrapping up some of these playthroughs that I'm doing, then I'm going to consider starting up something new. Well, what would it be? Well, I'm heavily considering Need for Speed Heat. I'm also considering actually continuing on my playthrough of Ninja Gaiden Black, which is something that I started back in the summer. Okay, so I'll let you guys know once we get closer to the finale of some of these games that I'm playing, what is the next project that I'm planning on working on. Okay, so schedule-wise, that's what's going on. FYI also, 2 big things are going to be happening tomorrow. First, I'm finally going to be setting up my subscriber goal for this month. The subscriber goal, once it's set, if we hit it, hitting a certain number of subs this month, it means we're going to be doing a viewer's choice event where you will be able to pick the game that I will play for a full playthrough, okay? Wow. That's amazing. It's so amazing that I'm exploding at the seams. There's gas exuding itself from every hole of and every orifice of my body in anticipation of the viewer's choice event. So if we hit a certain number of subs this month, yes, I'll be doing a viewer's choice event where you guys will be nominating and voting on games for me to play in a full playthrough, okay? I'm going to set that goal up, and that'll be live probably as of tomorrow, all right? What I want to see is after the end of tonight, is there a final dip in subs? Because I've been waiting. The subs have fluctuated a lot this week. At one point, we were at almost 680 subs. Then at one point, we were down to almost 630. And now we're around 650. So it seems like it's kind of like fluctuating and steadying in on a certain level, which is good, because that's what we want. We want to see exactly, where are we going to solidify. That's what we're working on, okay? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And go from there. All right. So that's tomorrow. The goal. The goal should be in place. In addition, now is your absolutely final chance to nominate games for the upcoming Christmas marathon. Today is the last day. Tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening, I'm going to be closing off the ability to nominate games. And instead, you guys are going to now be voting on the games that were most nominated. All right. So today is the final day. How can you nominate games for the upcoming Christmas marathon? Well, type !marathon into the stream chat. Okay. And that will bring you to the forums where you can nominate games. Please nominate. The more games nominated, the better. Tomorrow I'll sit down, I'll tally up the polls, and we'll figure out what games have made the final cut to make it to the final poll that you guys will now begin to vote on. Okay? So that's happening tomorrow. So there's a lot going on. It's a pretty eventful weekend in regards to, variety of games I'm playing, some fun events that are going on right now with my stream. So good stuff going on right now. Okay? All right. Let's see. Outside of all of that, I'm trying to think. I'm just trying to think. Is there anything else that I want to mention, or did I hit? I think I hit upon pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to our second segment of the stream. This, of course, is everyone's favorite segment, the one that you all anticipate and look forward to every day. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for... the Trump impeachment hearing segment. I'm just kidding. Hell no. It's time for the gratuitous plugs, which I'm sure you would probably want to hear just as much as the Trump impeachment segment. Some people are like, oh, damn it. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for 11 awesome years that I've been a content creator on the internet. I enjoy what I do for a living very much. I am one of the lucky few that gets to actually every day sit down and enjoy my job. Pretty crazy, because I know there's tons of people out there who don't. I was in that boat before I ever got to do this. I was always in that situation in life. I know how incredibly lucky I am, and I'm incredibly grateful that every single day you guys allow me to do what I love. Okay? Thank you for that. The 11 years have certainly not been a smooth ride. There's been many ups and downs where I started off as a full-time gaming YouTuber, and that was fun while it lasted. That all kind of fell apart a few years ago. Sadly, when, YouTube kind of screwed everything up for gamers in particular, but ad revenue plummeting and everything. I've been a full-time streamer now for almost 3 years, okay? And every single day, I love interacting with you guys. I love being here 6 days a week full-time, having these fun, interactive streams. But that being said, I am almost solely reliant on crowdfunding during my streams to make ends meet and allow this to continue. All right? So, if you like the fact that I do 6 days a week full-time streaming, if you like the fact that I'm still taking the time to upload my archive streams to my YouTube channel, DSPGaming on YouTube, despite the fact that I make almost nothing doing so because, the ad revenue over there is so goddamn terrible, okay? If you like all of this and you want to see it continue, then please consider contributing via one of the following methods that I'm about to explain. It is much appreciated. However, I'll say this up front before I even mention one of those methods. Please understand that contributions are not mandatory. I'm perfectly happy just to have people come and hang out with me on a daily basis. Like I said, I've been doing this for 11 years. It's pretty amazing that people still care about me and my opinions on a daily basis. The fact that I have the longevity that I have is pretty damn outstanding. And, people to this day are like, wow, Phil really is in here for the long haul. He's not going anywhere. People love what he does. And I thank you all for that, So just the fact that you guys come by and hang out with me is awesome. I used to do this on YouTube as a hobby, and I did it for about 2.5 years before I ever even made a dime doing it. It was never about making money. It was about sharing my hobby with all of you. My passion is games, video gaming. It's been my lifelong kind of thing that I've been doing. So, now that I'm able to do it for a living, it's pretty outstanding. So thank you for that. Please consider contributing if you can, but if you can't, that's okay too. All right? All right. So now without further ado, let's talk a little bit about how you can contribute on the streams if you would like to help, okay? First of all, I have a Patreon over at patreon.com/DarksidePhil, if you contribute to my monthly Patreon campaign, you earn personal perks as a way of me of saying thank you and giving back. The perks are all publicly listed right there on my Patreon, so there's no reason for me to go into detail about them here. Thanks to anyone who is a current patron, and thanks to anyone who considers pledging in the future, okay? I have a Teespring store where I sell all kinds of fun merchandise, including t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, and mugs. I try to keep the prices down to the absolute cheapest so that they are inexpensive for you guys. They're high-quality stuff, I can attest to, because I own a bunch of it, and I wear them frequently in my videos. So, good stuff. Give it a look. That's teespring.com/stores/DSPGaming. Anything you buy here there helps me out, and you get a cool collectible out of the deal as well. You might want to keep in mind, with the holidays right around the corner, less than 2 weeks till Christmas, right, guys? If you are thinking about maybe getting something for yourself or for, someone who's a fan of mine, etc., sooner rather than later, right? Because we all know what happens around this time of year. The shipping goes crazy. Everyone's mailing presents and the like, and that means that, sadly, shipping is going to go crazy. So, strongly recommend that if you're going to get something from there, that you get it sooner rather than later to avoid any kind of shipping issues. Okay? Fair enough? Alrighty then. Now, if you're here live on the streams, alright, and you would like to contribute in a way that's going to get you some recognition during the stream, you can. If you either cheer with bits, or you subscribe to my channel, or you tip me, any of those ways, I will give you a live thank you shout out on the stream for your contribution, which is much appreciated. In addition, at the top of the screen, there's a stream stats leaderboard that I will update periodically to show people who are the top tipper or top cheerer of the day. There's also an integrated leaderboard into Twitch that shows things like the top cheers overall for the week, as well as people who've gifted subs for the week that I can give shout outs for, okay? Now, in addition to all of that, Twitch is running a promotion this month that if you either cheer a certain amount of bits or if you subscribe to a channel, you actually are gifting subscriptions to other viewers, which is pretty nice. It's always nice to know that you're giving something as well as getting something, right? So you're not only contributing to myself and my stream, but you're actually giving emotes to others as well. It's a really nice feature that they added to the site for this month. So that's good stuff, right? Now, I just mentioned a bunch of ways that you can contribute, right? You might be saying to yourself, what's the best way to contribute? I don't understand. There's a million ways to do it. What helps Phil the most? Being very honest with all of you. Right now, the best way to contribute would be by tipping me. Tipping me helps me more than anything else for a very matter-of-fact reason. I get those funds immediately. I can pay a bill. I can buy a game. I could save it up to pay my tax attorney or pay taxes at the end of the year. All these things that are very big necessary things when you're running your own business, okay? So by tipping me, you're giving me the ability to use funds towards something immediately. If you do anything else, cheering, subbing, Patreon, Teespring, those things all help. But those things all have a delay before I see any positive benefit from them, okay? There's like a processing time. While with tipping, I see it immediately, okay? So, by all means, if you'd like to contribute, please do. Please contribute in whatever method you find best. But if you are looking to help me out the most, please consider tipping me, because tipping me would help me more than anything else today. Okay? So a couple things about tipping. If you take a look below the stream, you should see a tips jar button that you can click on, or you can type !tip into the stream chat. Either way, it'll take you to my PayPal tips page. All right? Okay? Sorry, I got distracted. Yes, so you can go to my PayPal tips page, and a couple things that you should know about tipping. The first is that you do not need to have a PayPal account that's registered and linked to a bank account in order to tip me. You actually could just use a debit or credit card to tip, okay? Now, when you go to my PayPal tips page, you may not see that option. If that's the case, more than likely you're on a mobile device. What I found is that, sadly, when you try to do this on a mobile device, a lot of the times it doesn't work. Those options won't load properly. But if you go on a desktop computer, they will. So if you are considering tipping me, but you want to do it without using a PayPal account, or a fully registered PayPal account, I should say, you'll probably want to do so on a desktop, okay? In addition, I look out for my viewers and fans and supporters, and I just want to let you guys know that you should do your best to protect your identity on the internet if you are going to contribute to any streamer, you should probably not use your real identity. And here's why. There's a group of people out there who are really messed up in the head. They really have nothing better to do with their lives because their lives are miserable, lonely, and pathetic. And what they do is they try to hurt people on the internet by finding out their real information about their identity and exposing it to the world. They don't do it for any kind of particular reason. It doesn't hurt me as a streamer. They just do it to hurt people because they can. It gives them some feeling of power and worth to fuck with people. All right? So if you are going to contribute during a stream, I strongly recommend you do so anonymously. Like, for example, if you're going to tip me today, you might want to tip me as anonymous. Or you can completely make up a name. All right? Whatever you do, don't use your real name. I'm just telling you right up front, bad idea to use your real name. The last thing you want is someone finding out, linking that to your social media or something, and then coming and harassing you on the internet and bad stuff, okay? Do what you can to protect yourselves. Just throwing that out there as a FYI. It's definitely pertinent in the modern era. You got to do that because people will do whatever they can to hurt you just because they can, okay? All right, so now moving on from the plugs, let's now move on to the rules. I have a certain set of rules that I abide by here on my streams. I feel that it gives them a certain vibe and a certain kind of chill mentality, all right? The first set of rules I follow is all the rules set by Twitch TV, because I'm streaming on twitch.tv, which is a registered business, and since I am streaming on their business, I have to abide by all the rules and regulations that they've laid out. I can't just say or do whatever I want to do willy-nilly here on the stream, so I hope that you guys understand that, okay? Now, I also have my own code of conduct that I follow here on the streams. Allow me to explain. The way that my mentality is as follows. I want it that when people come by my streams, all right, you're coming by to basically escape the stresses, the annoyances, the drama, the overall toxicity and nastiness of the outside real world. You're coming here to escape, to have a good time with me. You want to relax and chill. You want to see my honest reaction to a video game. You want to maybe have some interaction with me or others in the stream chat. And in general, just have a good time. That's the whole point of the streams, right? Right. So when you come to my streams, the last thing you want to see is toxicity and drama and anger and people getting all pissy with each other and arguing in the stream chat and just being in general very nasty. That's not what we want, all right? So there's a couple rules that I've laid out that I feel kind of promote this kind of atmosphere, all right? The first rule is that we don't bring up controversial topics that people tend to disagree on, and when they do disagree on, they get really nasty with each other. Those topics are, of course, politics and religion. For whatever reason, I always find that politics or religion are very divisive topics that make people very angry with each other. I don't know why, because, normally you would think people could see from the other foot, maybe consider another opinion outside of the one that they believe. But no, politics and religion are like the ultimate no-no. Good luck trying to get anyone to listen, right? So that being said, we don't really allow those as topics of discussion on the stream. That being said, also, if we're playing a game where politics and religion are part of the plot line, that's different. You want to talk about it in context of the game, that's perfectly fine, and we can absolutely do that. But, sadly, sometimes I'll be playing a game, and I'll look down at the stream chat. Next thing you know, you got people arguing about Brexit and Trump and this and that. And I'm like, no. That is not allowed. That is strictly against the rules. Okay, guys? Number 2, I am well aware that right now on the internet, there are lots of people who every single day illegally steal my content via various means, whether it be illegally restreaming it or just ripping it right off of my streamer YouTube channel and cutting it in a way that basically makes me look awful, all right? Basically, these people are in it for their own personal gain. What they want to do is defame me, insult me, slander me to make me look bad so that they can create drama. When they create drama on the internet, it creates views for them, and they make money off of it. These people ride my coattails on a daily basis and really only have any kind of notoriety on the internet because I exist, okay? And they realize this. They're like, wow, the gravy train, we really jumped on the right bandwagon on this one, the Dark Side Phil bandwagon. Let's just keep doing this, all right? The truth of the matter is people who actually tune into my streams say, how on earth do people say all this stuff about him? The streams aren't anything like what people say about him because all they're trying to do is talk shit for their own personal gain. They, views, clicks, money, okay? So the truth of the matter is we know that this stuff exists. We know these people are nasty out there. They're doing this on purpose to make a living / get popularity off my behalf. There's nothing I can do about it. YouTube, sadly, is a place that allows this kind of behavior. Twitch is not. Twitch has banned multiple people who've done this kind of crap to me. But YouTube doesn't give a shit. YouTube will just allow you to do anything like the Wild West because they're a fucked up website that won't do anything unless you sue someone. Okay? So all that being said, we know these people exist. There's no reason to bring it up in the stream chat. I'm just saying some people sometimes come in here and start bringing it up, and I'm like, nope, that's against the rules, because what you're doing when you bring that up is you're giving these people exactly the attention that they want. By addressing things that they're specifically doing, giving them name drops, etc., it's giving them more attention, and people will go check their stuff out. That's exactly why they're doing it, and that's what they want. So what we do, we ignore it. We have a strict, absolutely strict, policy here that it's not allowed to bring their crap up. If you do, sadly, you're going to get moderated. There's nothing you can do about it at all. I'm sorry, but we just don't bring that shit up. All right? It's against the rules. So I'm just forewarning everyone. Sometimes we got a genuine person in here who doesn't know the rules, and they come in, Village, someone's restreaming you, blah, blah, blah. It's not allowed, okay? I'm telling you, it's counterproductive. It's just going to hurt things more than help, okay? So please understand that. Okay? All right. Now, moving on to the third and final segment of the stream. This is the segment where I give shout-outs to those who've contributed. And we start updating the leaderboards. We have a little bit of fun discussion. It's a good time overall. All right? So, let's talk, guys. Let's get to those who contributed. All right? So, wow, if I can get... Oh, shit. If I can get my leaderboard to... Oh, my God. It's so frozen up here. And it's not the movie Frozen. It's fucking... Wow. Okay, please move. Okay, it's starting to move now. All right, my leaderboard. Holy shit. Thank you to those who have contributed. Let's start off with Golden Colts, who overnight did several cheers. Thank you, Golden Colts, as usual, for your overnight cheering and support. It is much appreciated. We actually start off today's stream with a subscription from Fatal Skills, a 4-month resub. Thank you very much, Fatal Skills, for 4 months of support. That is very much appreciated. Thank you for that. Vincent9999 actually started up the cheering today with 140-bit cheers. Let me get him up on the leaderboard, and then we'll see what he had to say. That is not 9. That is 0. Oops. Okay, it was a 140-bit cheer. All right. Thank you, Vincent. He says, I hope you enjoyed Medieval today. I've never played it before. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are about the game. Like I said, I did play it like 20 years ago. Holy shit. It was a freaking lifetime ago. So we'll see, how I feel about it today. I'm sure with all these modernized games, it probably is going to be, like, very outdated. At the same time, hopefully it's entertaining, right? So it should be a good time, hopefully. Mr. Papavera cheered. He said, I love this game on the original PlayStation. The original sounds, the stages, the models, and the animations are so good, and the game had great atmosphere. The limited power of the hardware actually lent itself to a cool design. The spooky atmosphere and the low poly levels were very memorable. I heard that they really tried to stay as true to the original spirit of the game, but we'll see if it sparks my nostalgia. Yeah, again, I'm sure when I start to play it, maybe I'll start to remember stuff. But again, I don't know, how different this game is from the original, so I guess we're going to find out today. So thank you very much for the cheer, Mr. Papavera. Richie7ACR has resubscribed to the channel. Excuse me, it says subscribe, but I know Richie has subbed before. So I don't know why it says it's the first time he subbed. That's kind of weird. But anyway, thank you, Richie, for the subscription. I appreciate that. Massive Steak also has resubscribed for 5 months. Thank you, Massive Steak, for 5 months of support. That is much appreciated. Eternal Napalm did a 50-bit cheer. He says, do you think that Soulsborne has the Nest boss design? I think he meant to say best. So do you think that Soulsborne has the best boss design and the AI in all of gaming? How do you feel when in the middle of a hard as hell but fun boss in Soulsborne? First of all, Eternal Napalm. I hate to tell you this, but the AI in Soulsborne games is not very advanced or great. I'm just being honest. If you analyze those games at a high level, you'll actually see that basically each boss maybe has like 5 to 7 things that they could do at any given time. And technically, unless there are a few situations where it is a more reactive AI, most of the time it rolls the dice and just does a random fucking move out of the 7 that it can do. And that's why it can be so interesting, because sometimes the boss can do 5 moves in a row that are slow as shit and you can punish, and then sometimes the boss will do its fast move 7 times and completely destroy you. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying it's not as... Some people give it way too much credit. Oh my god, it's like it actually reads my inputs. It's reacting to me like it's a real fight. No, it's not happening. It's not happening at all. It's just, it's rolling the dice and it's picking a random move when you're doing a boss fight in Soulsborne. What I would say is that the cool thing about Soulsborne is that the bosses are varied, and you could have certain bosses that are very heavily, you know, up close, fast and furious melee style. Then you got bosses that are ranged, and they very much, you know, you have to find, like, figure out almost like a puzzle to figure out how to beat said boss. Then you could have a hybrid where it has projectiles that you have to dodge, but then you have up close combat too. So, if anything, I think the reason that people like the bosses in Soulsborne so much is because you never know what you're going to get, and you know you're always going to get a cool variety. You're going to get a cool boss design, some cool music, graphics, you know, everything. It's the complete package when you get to play a Soulsborne game, right? That's a cool thing. You know, even Sekiro, the bosses were quite good. The Owl, the Sword Saint, the giant guardian apes, etc. You know, those were all super fun bosses. Challenging, hell yeah, but they were fun at a level when you finally got good at the games. They were quite entertaining, right? Now, he says, how do you feel when in the middle of a hard as hell but fun boss? I feel invigorated. I'm like, man, this is challenging, but it's fun. I'm actually on the fly learning how to defeat this really, you know, difficult situation, this difficult boss. It makes you feel, you know, I don't want to say like empowered, but it makes you feel like this is something very interesting and challenging and meaningful in a game versus, oh, any other game, a boss fight, you know, you mash buttons or whatever. But in a Soulsborne game, you know you're going to have a challenge to it, and you know that you're going to have a good time. Once you've beaten that boss, you feel like an accomplishment, right? In addition, I think it should be said, in Soulsborne games, you pretty much get a great reward every time you kill a boss, right? You usually get a ton of souls, or an upgrade item, or whatever. So now, you have the ability to do something meaningful in the game. Oh, I killed a boss, and now I can immediately level up my character and get a good instant gratification reward for beating said boss. Some other games, you beat a boss, you just head on to the next part of the game, but in Soulsborne, you usually get a good reward for it as well. So, I would say that it's a combination of many different feelings. So there you go. Alright, so I received a $1 troll tip, then I received a $1 troll tip. So thank you to the two idiot trolls who gave me a $1 tip each. Let me put you up, just put it up as the total tips of the day, without, you know, acknowledging any of the stupidity. 2Bar King did a 100-bit cheer. Thank you very much, 2Bar King. I appreciate that. Then I also received another $1 troll tip. So I could say thanks again to another idiot troll. And we can ignore that one too. This is great. Alright. PW Dubs did a 150-bit cheer. Thank you, PW Dubs. That's the biggest cheer of the day, by the way. I'm going to put that up on the leaderboard in a second. And he says, hey, dude, good morning. Do you use a script for pre-streams? Is it just memory? It's just memory. I do never use a script. I've never used a script. The only time I've ever used a script was for E3, when I have to talk about a lot of shit in a short period of time. Or sometimes when I used to do podcasts and the like, I would have like a actual list that I would write down of points that I wanted to hit during the podcast. That way I didn't forget anything. But every day, this is completely on the fly. You know, straight from me. This is not scripted. This is not pre-recorded. You know, this is just me live reacting to all of you. And that's funny because some people have suggested that I do. Why don't you just pre-record it? I'm like, dude, listen. Let me tell you something, all right? I know no one likes to get advertised to. I don't like to get advertised to. I know no one likes to kind of sit around a little bit before the gameplay starts. But it's a necessary evil. It gets people informed. There's some interactivity here with questions that I answer and the like. There's definitely a purpose and a meaning to it. If I were to just record it and play it before the stream, do you know how disrespectful that would seem to me? I'll give you an example. I used to listen to the Howard Stern Show. Yes, Raptor Balls, I did see your message. I used to listen to the Howard Stern Show, okay? And when I listened to the Howard Stern Show, they would do plugs. Sometimes they would live read a plug, and they would have, like, on-the-fly improv interaction between the people in the studio while they were doing the plug. I always loved that, because I was like, man, that feels like you're part of the show. It feels like you're there, even though they have to do a plug now, an advertisement. You still get some of the personability of the people who are on the show. But then sometimes they would record the plugs and just replay them. I fucking hated that. Whenever they went to a plug segment, I would change the radio station. I didn't want to just sit there and listen to them. It's basically zero effort, right? Like, oh, we're going to advertise to you, but we're not even going to bother to be here live. We're just going to fucking play an ad. It's like, what's the point? So I don't want to have a boring segment to the beginning of my stream where I'm not interacting with you guys. I'm ignoring what you guys are saying. You know what I mean? That's fucked up. I appreciate you guys being here way more than that, okay? So I'm never just going to do a pre-recorded segment that's boring as dirt. I want this to be on the fly. I want you to understand that I'm putting effort into it every single day that I do it, okay? Fair enough? Okay, so PW Dubs, thank you for the cheer. Thank you for the question. Let's get you up on the leaderboard because you are technically the top cheerer of the day. Shit. There we go. So technically we don't have a top tipper right now because there were $3 troll tips that I'm just going to fucking ignore. Hopefully we can get a tipper up there so it'll look better than just saying we have tips that didn't count. Okay. All right. What I'd like to do now is give a shout out to the top cheerers of the week and the people who gifted subs this week. So, top cheerers of the week. In 10th place, we've got K Diaz 098. Excuse me, 089. In 9th place, Sambuca 2020. 8th place goes to Mr. Papavera. 7th place is Captain Caveman. 6th place, Orcs or Dork 7. 5th place goes to PW Dubs. 4th place, Golden Colts. 3rd place, Falconborn Plays. 2nd place this week is Accio Artorius. And in 1st place, we've got Tubar King. Thank you all for the cheers this week. Really, really appreciate your support. Now, as for people who gifted subs this week, the following people all gifted a single sub this week. So thank you very much. We've got Jack Spartacus, Pompous Productions, D-Train 12, Unfazed Shade, Frenolith, and Philly Buckeye. Thank you guys. And then Internet Famous McCroy actually gifted 3 subscriptions so far this week. So thank you very much to Internet Famous McCroy for the sub. All right, I received another troll tip essentially. So here we go again. I'm just gonna say we have $4 in tips, and still no legitimate tipper there on the leaderboard because people are just trolling, and I'm just gonna ignore it until we get a legitimate tip. I'm not gonna keep putting this up there. I'm just gonna keep adding to the total. So, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for the support so far this morning. In fact, hold on a second. We are currently at 661 subscribers. So we actually went up a few subscribers this morning. Thank you, everybody. There we go. Thank you to PW Dubs, the current top cheerer. We don't have a current top tipper. Reminder, as I said earlier, excuse me, the absolute best way to contribute today would be by tipping me. Tips help more than anything because I get those funds right away, and they help me out. So please consider tipping me if at all you can. If you're thinking of contributing today, that is the way to go. All right? All right. Oh, Mr. Papavera just did a cheer. He says, so a trailer dropped the other day, and now I'm wondering, if Kingdom Hearts 3 Rewind were put to a vote on the forums, would you consider if it got a lot of support? From what I'm to understand, isn't Kingdom Hearts 3 Rewind just the entire game again, but they added a few pieces of new content? Like, from what I'm to understand, they added a few things to the end of the game, and they added Final Fantasy characters, and that's it. Because remember one of my big criticisms of Kingdom Hearts 3 was that it didn't have the Final Fantasy characters. I was like, wait a minute. They were present in both 1 and 2. 3 didn't have them at all. Like, they weren't even put in. What's up with that, right? So it kind of confused me that was the case. And I was like, man, it really seems like they kind of didn't finish up certain parts, or like, how could you have that in the first 2 and not in the third? I didn't understand it. So now, in this DLC, apparently now they've added in the Final Fantasy characters, right? So it's pretty confusing. So it's okay. It's not an updated edition. It's a new DLC that adds new bosses, new story, Final Fantasy characters, new changes, etc. The point of here's the point I'm gonna make. All right. The core gameplay mechanics of Kingdom Hearts 3 is what make the game suck. I'm sorry, and I admitted this in my review earlier this year, that I think the game stinks. The gameplay itself, the actual combat, is terrible. They basically watered down the combat of Kingdom Hearts to the point where it's just button mashing. And even I, not even as a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts, but even I acknowledge that the game is subpar and I didn't like it. You know, I'm sorry. For those who are looking for story, you probably liked it, but anyone looking for gameplay, the gameplay sucks. So that being said, any DLC, I don't know what exactly you think is going to save the game or make it better. Just because they add in a few Final Fantasy characters, a few new bosses or whatever, it's just going to be more of the same. It's going to be more story I don't care about. It's going to be characters that are shoved and shoehorned in with no real purpose. And you're probably going to have some new bosses that, you know, okay, maybe they'll be neat, maybe they won't be, who knows. But I don't see the point. Like, the game is what it is. They're not going to redesign the game from the ground up to make it better at this point. The DLC is just going to be the same game with a few new added elements. Now, if people wanted to see me play it, that's interesting. I don't know how long it would be, and also it would depend on the cost. Like, there's no way I'm dropping $20, $30 for a DLC for a game that I didn't like to begin with. You see what I mean? What am I going to waste my time on? But if people absolutely want to see me do it, maybe someone donates or whatever, I would consider doing it. I just don't see the point. Like, I didn't like the core game, so I don't know why I would want to play a DLC for it. Especially because, like I said, I have zero investment in this plot. I already saw the whole plot or whatever it was in the main game. I have zero investment in it. Why would I care to go back and play a DLC at this point? Right? So, I don't know. Alright? I don't know what to say in that regard. I'm really not too interested. But again, I'm not 100% writing it off. I'm just saying personally, I'm not finding myself too interested or invested in it. Okay? Fair enough? Okay. Alright guys. So I guess that's it. It looks like we've hit upon all the contributions. I want to say thank you to anyone who did contribute. I appreciate that very much. What we'll probably do here is take a very brief break, where I will go run and use the restroom quickly, and then we will begin here with Medieval. Alright, we'll see how it goes. I hope Medieval is good. I really do. I hope that Medieval ends up being an entertaining remake, remaster, whatever the hell it's considered. I hope that it's good. So we're about to find out. Okay. Cool, hold on a second. A few more contributions just rolled in. Dark Dole just resubscribed for 11 months. Thank you, Dark Dole, for the 11-month resub. I appreciate that. Kingdom Hearts 3 sucks. Tip me $1. It says Kingdom Hearts 3 was absolutely awful. The series has been terrible. The first game was the only one with any actual charm. Kingdom Hearts was terrible gameplay. I actually like 1 and 2. I actually do like Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, you know, admittedly. As much as I would argue or would complain when I play them that they're frustrating, because there are frustrating parts of them, I do like the games. Kingdom Hearts 3, no. I'm being honest. I actually don't like Kingdom Hearts 3. I think that it was a game that they really didn't try. What they did is they took a modern graphics engine and slapped in really watered down combat that wasn't very good. They have an insanely convoluted plot. They tried to cram in as many characters and plot resolutions as possible into the game because they made so many spin-off games, there was no way that they were going to be able to do it in any coherent or organized manner, so they just crammed in as much plot as possible within this game, and it literally all just gets resolved and then it lasts like 4 hours. At a very rushed pace, by the way. An incredibly rushed pace, so... And it's just not, it's not very satisfying. It's not a very satisfying game for anyone. If you're just someone who's a casual fan who played a few of the games and you're looking for a challenging, fun game with Disney characters in it, it's not very good. If you're looking for a game that has high-level challenge of combat, it's not very good. If you're a longtime fan of the series who's looking for resolution, it's not very good. So, it really doesn't please anyone. And that's kind of one of the biggest shortcomings is they tried to be a jack of all trades, and they literally failed on every single event. Like, they didn't master anything. They just kind of... The game kind of is. So, it's funny because so many people were saying Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to be like, oh, it's Game of the Year. I'm so hyped for it. And then once it came out, they were like, ah, shit. So. Alright, so that's the deal, guys. Thank you for all your contributions so far on the stream. I'm going to take a very brief break here to use the restroom, and then I'll be back. And then it is time for Medieval. Okay? All right, guys. I'll be right back. See you in just a bit.